the building, and I asked myself, so what about? Anyway, the beautiful thing about this development is that we are beginning to see that the ministry is about journalism, information dissemination, and democracy. It's not about what we used to think of it to be. So I want to use this occasion to acknowledge the two, GJ and the Ministry of Information. I want to also appreciate the fact that the current GJ executive have successfully brought this very important conference to Ghana. It gives us the opportunity to tell our story from Ghana. I've always said that we don't tell our stories enough. One of the things I like to repeat is that all across Africa, no country in Africa has a constitution that defends journalism more than the Ghanaian constitution. All across Africa. We haven't been telling our stories enough. And I think that the convention gives us the opportunity to tell the Ghanaian story. I want to end, it's a very short, by hoping, I hope the GJA president is listening, that the local organizing committee will ensure that this all-important convention will create space for us in the public media to reflect on the future of public media in Africa. It is a question that is begging for answers. It is a challenge that you will see from West Africa to East Africa to Southern Africa. The question is, how do we transform what used to be state media into a formidable public service media in the face of massive expansion in the new media ecosystem? How do you reposition the public media to have relevance? And I think the African Media Convention gives us the forum for us to have that conversation. And that is the excitement we bring to this convention from the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation. Thank you very much.
Great food for thought by Professor Amin Adam, the role of the public media within this. You see? That is what happens in the mornings when you haven't had any pineapple juice. So Professor Amin Alassan has been, charging all of us and bringing our minds back to the role that public media plays within this whole big picture. And I do believe that our interactions in May eventually would help all of us to have a consensus on how to move forward. Once again, Prof, we're very grateful for your time. Shall we appreciate him with another round of applause? Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I would like to welcome up here the president of the Private Newspapers Association of Ghana, PRIMPAG, Mr. Edwin Arthur, to bring us his message of goodwill. Please put your hands together for him.
The Honorable Minister for Information and his deputy, permit me to stand on the existing protocols ably established by the GJA President and the GIBA President. It is a joy to be called upon to address this August gathering at today's lunch. PRIMPAG is very excited to be associated with this event, and it is for the good reasons of the benefits the media in Ghana stand to gain from such an event. Let me say, building synergies among media practitioners is very crucial to the survival of our industry, particularly because it affords us the opportunity of learning of best practices from our colleagues and to also tap into the experiences of our colleagues who ply their profession in other African countries. It is a fact that media practitioners in Ghana need this synergy and collaboration with our African counterparts and colleagues in view of the obvious decline in the patronage of our products and the backlash we receive every day as far as our work as media practitioners is concerned, which suggests to some of us that perhaps there are certain things we aren't doing right. I can say on authority that my recent travel to some African countries revealed that newspapers particularly and the electronic media continue to receive high patronage and applause in those countries, while the opposite is fast gaining currency in Ghana. And it is for this and other reasons that we welcome events such as the hosting of the Third African Media Convention, which we believe will afford us the opportunity of interacting with our brothers and sisters from the African continent and to engage them particularly on what they are doing right that make them remain relevant in the scheme of things in their various countries. But even before we take advantage of the hosting of this convention next year to help turn our situation around, let me say that part of the problem of the Ghanaian media have been the fact that we do not seem to have a clear-cut policy on the training of our journalists and how we practice our profession without regard to the ethics of our profession and the decision by some journalists not to uphold any journalistic standards at all. Part of the problem also has to do with lack of proper research into information given us and our insatiable desire for needless sensationalism. These are some of our problems, and it behoves us as a country, and particularly as the handlers of media associations, to team up with state authorities to streamline journalism practice in this country. Respectfully, let me end my address by commending all those who played roles in getting the nod for Ghana to host this all-important convention. And let me single out the GJA president, Mr. Albert Kwabena Jumfour, for the good work he is doing so far to strengthen the Ghanaian media, but not forgetting the tremendous support we receive on a daily basis from our sector minister, the Honorable Kwadwo Oppong Nkrumah. And let me, on behalf of Primpag, also say a very big thank you to the President of the Republic of Ghana for supporting the Ghanaian team to win the bid to host this all-important media convention. I urge all media practitioners in this country to take advantage of the hosting of this convention to build networks that will inure to the benefit of us as individual journalists, our media establishment, and Ghana as a whole. Primpag wishes the local organizing committee well in its resolve to put together programs to ensure the hosting of a very successful media convention in Ghana. Thank you for your attention.
And we're also very grateful to you, Mr. Edwin Arthur, who is president of Primpag. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to remind all of you that we're also live on the social media handles of the GJA and the Ministry of Information, and streaming live on Wezo TV as well. At this time, I'd like to welcome up here the Rector of UNIMAC GIJ, to give us a message of goodwill, as we do very much acknowledge that the academia plays a very key role in the forward movement of media practice in Africa. Professor Poku Mensah, welcome.
Thank you. The Minister of Information and MP for Ofransia Yorubi, Honorable Kodiopon Nkrumah, the Deputy Minister of Information, Honorable Fatima Abubakar. The protocol established is getting taller, so I would like to stand on it as well. I am profoundly honored to extend this message of solidarity on behalf of the University of Media, Arts and Communication, as an institution dedicated to nurturing the next generation of media professionals across the African continent. We recognize the immense significance of this continental convention being hosted in Ghana in 2024. Ghana, with its unique history and dynamic media landscape, stands as a beacon of press freedom and journalistic excellence in Africa. Hosting the African Media Convention in this illustrious setting that scores the country's pivotal role in shaping the future of media discourse across our diverse and dynamic continent. At the University of Media, Arts and Communication, which comprises the erstwhile Ghana Institute of Journalism, National Film and Television Institute, and the Ghana Institute of Languages, we believe that the power of media lies not only in its ability to inform, but also in its capacity to inspire, educate, and transform societies. Through our rigorous training programs, cutting-edge research, and hands-on mentorship, we strive to equip our students with the skills, knowledge, and ethical grounding they need to navigate the ever-evolving media landscape with integrity and professionalism. This convention will serve as a timely and vital platform for media institutions, professionals, and stakeholders to come together to learn, exchange ideas, and forge collaborative partnerships. It will be a testament to our shared commitment to elevate the standard of journalism, fostering innovation, and championing the principles of free speech, transparency, and accountability, particularly considering our upcoming 2024 general elections. As we gather next year, let us seize this opportunity to reaffirm our dedication to excellence in media education and practice. Let us pledge to invest in the continual professional development of our media practitioners, and let us ensure that they are equipped to navigate the complexities of the digital age while upholding the highest ethical standards. And I want to put it on record that as we gather here, the Media Capacity Enhancement Program training is ongoing on our campus under the auspices of the Honorable Minister. Let's give him a clap for the continuous support of journalistic training. In conclusion, let the African Media Convention 2024 be a catalyst for renewed collaboration, innovation, and solidarity among media institutions and professionals across the continent. Together, we can shape a future where the media serves as a cornerstone of our democracy, a catalyst for social progress, and a voice for the voiceless. Thank you, and may the 2024 convention pave the way for a brighter, more inclusive, and resilient media landscape in Africa. Thank you.
We're very grateful to the Rector of UNIMAC GIJ. Ladies and gentlemen, just before we have our inaugural speech and inaugural message, I'd like to welcome here a key collaborator when it comes to the work of the media in this country, duly established by law, and who have over the period played very key roles in terms of monitoring and whipping into line. I'd like to welcome up here the representative of the National Media Commission for the message of goodwill coming from that institution. Mr. Bannerman, would like to welcome you here. Shall we welcome him with a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen?
Thank you very much, Nathaniel. Honorable Minister for Information and MP for Ofransia Yorubi, Honorable Deputy Minister, with your permission, and stand on all protocols that has been observed. The National Media Commission is proud to be associated with this very program. In fact, when we were invited or we got to know about this program, we were so elated that the Commission decided that it will lend its full support to the program and will be a key partner in hosting this very convention. I would take this opportunity to congratulate the Ministry of Information and the Ghana Journalists Association, who have worked so hard to bring this convention to the shores of Ghana. There's no doubt that the media credentials of our nation makes it a beacon of media freedom, and hope, therefore, that it being chosen to host this very convention leads to the fact that the freedom in Ghana media persists. We would want to appeal to the organizers to do a very good job, especially the LOC, when the numerous and especially important visitors from all over the continent, as well as the rest of the world, arrive in this country. We also want to call on them that they should not lose sight of the fact that journalists are trained in training institutions, and they must therefore involve them in this very important convention. I hope the third African Media Convention will also be a market to our democracy in this country. For us to succeed, we need the collaboration of all in hosting this very program. The NMC, once again, want to assure you that it lends its support to the event, which will enhance journalism practice in our country as well as the African continent. With this, I say thank you very much, and we at the NMC hope to be part of this very unique occasion. Thank you very much.
The first African Media Conference was held in Tanzania, Arusha, last year. 1 year after the conference, what has been the outcome of the declaration?
In terms of achievement, let me say that the first recommendation with regards to media stakeholders in Africa was to ensure that the African Media Convention becomes an annual event, and that it will be on rotational basis. Now, it was held in Arusha in East Africa last year, and this year we are here in Zambia, in Lusaka. So at least this is a success on its own. And then in terms of capacity as well, we have seen a lot of improvement, both in terms of government participation, as well as the development agencies, the UN, and also the media. We have seen a lot of journalists and media organizations who have come on board.
UNESCO is of the view that ensuring freedom of expression will enhance human rights of the people.
When there is no freedom of expression, it means the citizens will not be able to express themselves. They will not be able to talk about their aspirations, about their concerns, whether it's in health, whether it's the right to education, whether it's right to water, right? People need to express their needs so that they can be achieved. Even communicating with governments. You're talking of investigative journalists, corruption cases and everything. It's about talking, it's about speech, it's about allowing communication to happen. So you look at, I've talked about health, I've talked about education, I've talked about all these other thematic areas. It's all part of freedom of expression. So freedom of expression is key, and it's a driver of all other human rights.
Ghana's media is led by the president of the GJA, Mr. Albert Kobna-Dufour. Ghana is lobbying seriously to host next year's African Media Conference, which will be announced on Saturday. For GBC News, Swala Abdul Wahab, Lusaka, Zambia.
And here at the Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons, my name is Nathaniel Atto. And of course, it was the story that the bid was won. I think it's a good time to do another congratulatory round of applause to the whole team. The time has come for us to listen to the inaugural speech for the third edition of this Congress. Public service is a very challenging space, and one needs a lot of wisdom, a lot of inspiration, and most importantly, a heart for serving the people and a mind for serving the people. The fine gentleman I'm about to introduce to you is one I have known at very close range, and one who's been very passionate about the development of our nation in certain specific sectors from where he can make impact. Since taking over the reins as the man in charge of government policy and direction when it comes to information, he sure has done a lot in terms of collaborating and in terms of bringing the whole mass of media together in Ghana so that we can all be effective in terms of contributing our quota to the nation. We all do identify him as the Minister for Information for the Republic of Ghana, but he also loves very much that we identify him with his role as the representative in the House of Legislature of the people of Ofuasia Yoruba in the eastern region of Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present to you our Minister for Information and our special guest of honor, Honorable Kojo Opon Nkrumah.
You know, the way the existing protocols are being stood on by everybody else, sometimes you are tempted to join. It was the Nigerians who used to do all protocol observed. And then Ghanaians, as we are, we chose not to exactly copy it, but vary it by standing on existing protocols. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. First, I want to say thank you to all of you for making time to be here. I know it's a very, very busy time of the year when many activities are ongoing, but you've made time to be here for this very important launch, and I'm grateful to you. I also want to say congratulations to the Ghana Journalists Association and the allied bodies for the very strong bid that you put in for Ghana to host the third Africa Media Convention. It was first your sense of initiative, and then it energized the support of the government of Ghana led by the President of the Republic and his instructions to us at the ministry to do all that is necessary to ensure that you succeed in your bid. And we are happy that Ghana has won that bid, and today we are launching the third Africa Media Convention. For those who are not familiar with this enterprise, the Africa Media Convention is a fast-growing platform that in the coming years will generate a coalition of ideas, support systems, and actors to shape the future of media in Africa and hopefully around the world. And I say media because it goes beyond journalism. It includes journalism, but it also includes all the other aspects of media. Production, audio visuals, our brothers and sisters who are handling cameras and the editing benches. It's the generality of media that will be impacted by the work that the African Media Convention has started. As I have mentioned on several occasions, this industry of ours has been held back for many years, mainly because we have not collaborated enough as stakeholders to fashion out and execute solutions. The Africa Media Convention offers a refreshing platform that has the potential to change this narrative and lead us to work together to make significant impact in our industry at the continental level. Here in Ghana, we are proud of the collaboration between the media stakeholder groups, namely the Ghana Journalists Association, the National Media Commission, the Ghana Independent Broadcasters Association, PRIMPAG, and the CSOs that are associated with media. It is our high level of collaboration that has led to the development of various interventions for our sector, including Ghana's Media Capacity Enhancement Program, which is currently ongoing at the Unima campus in Accra, the Coordinated Mechanism for the Safety of Journalists, the regulator's collaboration to contain egregious media content, and the anti-misinformation and disinformation campaigns, as well as the onboarding of global media partners to support Ghanaian media. We have been able to do all of these because we are working together. Our expectation is that the Africa Media Convention, which offers a similar collaborative platform on the continent-wide level, will enable Africa's media to achieve similar results, as I mentioned, first on the continent, and push this agenda globally. The hosting of the third Africa Media Convention in Ghana is for us a testament to Ghana's deepening record as one of Africa's fastest growing conference destinations. In recent times, as you will recall, we have hosted the African Development Bank annual meetings, the Afrexim Bank annual meetings, the Africa Prosperity Dialogues, the World Press Freedom Day Global Celebration, and several ECOWAS and AU heads of state summits here in Accra. The convergence of Africa's media elite here in May next year should give us an opportunity to, among others, discuss how to promote a positive African narrative globally, which would in turn lead to attracting more positive interests in Africa. The African story, when told on the global scene, is usually a story of failure, corruption, poverty, especially even when told by African journalists. While that may be true, there is also a lot of room to tell the African story of success, progress, resilience, and excellence. And so we are hoping that this convention will be an opportunity where African media minds coalesce and think through how to promote a positive African narrative globally. As I mentioned, this will lead to attracting more positive interests in Africa. Additionally, Mr. President and your colleagues, it should focus attention on how to combat the growing trend of misinformation on the continent's social media platforms, especially in the face of threats to democracy and the use of disinformation to spread attacks on democracy across the continent. The gathering should also focus on how to collaborate and deepen content creation. And by so saying, I mean media content creation that is designed to positively program Africa's Gen Zs. The academics say there's a reason for which they call it programming, because apart from just knowing the list of what is going to happen on the media platform, it also works to program the psyche and the mindset of particularly young audiences who are consuming. And so we are hoping that the gathering will focus attention on how to collaborate and deepen media content creation on the continent to positively program Africa's Gen Zs. Member journalist associations should not just participate. Take away lessons and implementable programs that can transform the practice of media work in general and journalism in particular on the continent. The government of Ghana, under the leadership of President Akufo-Addo, as has been mentioned earlier, is supporting the organization of this conference fully with the financial underwriting and the state logistics that are required to give our participants, including our foreign visitors, a befitting experience. We also urge state bodies such as the Ghana Investment Promotion Center, the Ghana Tourism Agency, the Ghana Export Promotion Authority to take advantage of this platform to expand opportunities for Ghana. It's the African media that is coming here. So if you take good advantage of this platform and you sell Ghana well in these areas, they will take the story to other parts of Africa and other parts of the world. I cannot end without mentioning that on Friday morning, the National Media Commission is hosting the maiden accountability forum of our coordinated mechanism for the safety of journalists. I have received confirmation from the CID of the Ghana Police Service, from the Office of the Chief Justice, and from the Ghana Armed Forces that they will all be attending to respond to all our questions and our queries about how we have handled the incident of attacks on journalists reported to them for action under Ghana's coordinated mechanism for the safety of journalists. And stakeholders, I'm hoping that I will see all of you there so that we can deal with the matters right at the table. Tomorrow as well, I'm informed that the validation of Ghana's National Action Plan to combat misinformation and disinformation will take place at Alisa Hotel. And again, we are hoping to have your inputs at the table so that the final document that is put out has all of us represented in there. With these remarks, ladies and gentlemen, it is my singular honor to duly announce that the third Africa Media Convention is now launched. And I'd like to turn your attention to the screens for a brief presentation.
The African media stakeholders have in the last 2 years marked World Press Freedom Day through annual media conventions which took place in Arusha in May 2021 and in Lusaka in May 2022. The Ghana team, under the leadership of the Ghana Journalists Association President Albert Kwabena, and through the unwavering support of UNESCO and the government of Ghana, Ghana Journalists Association won the bid to host the 2024 African Media Convention. Ghana takes pride in hosting the African Media Convention from May 15th to 17th, 2024, reminiscing the World Press Freedom Day Global Conference held in Accra in May 2018. Take a look at what happened in Lusaka and how the Ghana Journalists Association was declared the winner at the third African Media Convention.
The application came a few days ago, and I think it's only in order that now that decision has been made, we do confirm whether Ghana is still interested in hosting the third African Media Convention. And for that reason, I'd like to invite my brother, the president of the Ghana Journalists Association, to come here in person and in blood and confirm to this gathering.
The preservation of free expression has a trickle-down effect. When freedom of speech is generously guarded, there will be no fear or panic because people will go about their duties without looking over their shoulders. Our democracy will prosper further if individuals can freely express their opinions. I am pleased to announce that Ghana is ready and ever prepared to hold the impending Second Africa Media Convention. That's the Third Africa Media Convention. I must state that the government of Ghana has given us their commitment and full assurance that it will support the hosting of this event, just as it did in 2018 when Ghana hosted Global Press Freedom Day, which is recognized by UNESCO as one of the best commemorations so far.
I'd like to duly acknowledge the very hard work and commitment of our friends in the media, especially GTV, Joy News, Atinka TV, Wezo TV, of course the GGA social media platform, and the social media platform. They're all carrying this event live, and we'd like to say a very big thank you to them. It is on that note that I respectfully welcome back here to the podium the Honorable Minister for Information to perform the official inauguration of the local organizing committee of the Third African Media Convention. Honorable Minister.
Ask for the podium to be moved. Then we will invite the members of the local organizing committee to join us and to formally undertake the role to be assigned them.
Honorable Fatimatu Abubakar, co-chair of the African Media Convention. Mr. Kweku Obengeje, Ministry of Information, is the manager in charge of media relations. Mr. Albert Kwabnajumfor, President of the Ghana Journalists Association. Linda Asante J, the Vice President of the Ghana Journalists Association. Rebecca Ekpe, the Public Affairs Officer of the Ghana Journalists Association. A representative of UNESCO Ghana. A representative of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Obed Edom Yao Bejra of the Ministry of National Security, who's the head of accreditation. Mr. John Eko Mensah of the State Protocol Department, who's the Deputy Chief State Protocol Officer. A representative of the Ghana Police Service. A representative of the Ghana Immigration Service. Mr. Kwame Edumante of the Ghana Independent Broadcasters Association. Mr. George Wilson Kingston of Prempag, who's the acting executive secretary. Mr. Muhib Said of the Media Foundation for West Africa. Rebecca Kwekuduho of the Association of Women in Media. A representative of the Editors Forum Ghana. Mr. Alexander Bannerman of the National Media Commission, and Dr. Kobnabedu Ado, the Dean of the Faculty of Journalism and Media Studies of UNIMAC GIJ. Would also like to invite Mr. Eugene Nkansa, the New Media Association's Vice President. Thank you very much. President, beg your pardon. Mr. Eugene Nkansa, President of the New Media Association of Ghana.
So, to the co-chairs of the local organizing committee and the members, the terms of reference have been issued by the African Union Commission, and out of the terms of reference, there are 3 parts that we have distilled. I will charge you with them in the form of questions, and if you undertake to execute them, you please say together, yes, we do. If on the other hand, you don't intend to, you can let me know. And so, to the co-chairs and members of Ghana's local organizing committee, do you undertake to discharge as the local organizing committee your obligation to plan, arrange financing for, and execute the 3rd Africa Media Convention in Accra, Ghana, slated for May 2024 to the best of your abilities? Yes. To the co-chairs and members of the local organizing committee, do you undertake to comply with the tenets of the African Union Commission and allied bodies in executing the 3rd Africa Media Convention? Yes. To the co-chair and members of Ghana's local organizing committee, do you undertake to utilize the organization of the 3rd Africa Media Convention to champion the cause of Africa's media industry with emphasis on growth, responsibility to the continent, and the use of media to further the best interest and aspirations of Africa and her peoples? Congratulations, co-chairs and members. I want to ask the heads of the various media organizations to join me to congratulate them as they undertake the obligation. So Giba, Primpac, NMC, GBC, UNIMAC leadership, please join me to extend our congratulations to them.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. And at this time, he's extending a hand of congratulations to the newly inaugurated local organizing committee for the African Media Convention 2023 to be held here in Accra in May of 2024. Of course, the co-chairs are the President of the Ghana Journalists Association, Mr. Albert Kwabnajumfor, and the Deputy Minister for Information, Honorable Fatimatu Abubakar. We say congratulations to you once again. And distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we'll do one more big round of applause in congratulating them. Please do resume your seats. Thank you very much. Honorable Minister, Honorable Deputy Minister, ladies and gentlemen, the very comprehensive composition of this local organizing committee gives us a lot of confidence that this African Media Convention will be executed and executed with Ghanaian quality and Ghanaian credentials. Before we roll off towards the end of this launch, I'd like to welcome up here a co-chair of the local organizing committee to give us a speech or a message of acceptance. Honorable Fatimatu Abubakar, who's also Deputy Minister for Information. Welcome.
Thank you. Honorable Minister for Information, President of the Ghana Journalists Association, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, permit me to stand on all further protocol already established and say good afternoon to you all. On behalf of all the members of the local organizing committee for the Third African Media Convention, I would like to express our profound gratitude to the Minister for Information and the Ghana Journalists Association for the confidence reposed in us. We are aware that by this inauguration, you expect nothing less than the provision of top-tier infrastructure and services that meet the highest standards of international conventions around the world, as we showcase our rich Ghanaian culture and robust media landscape. By the grace of God, and with the extensive consultation and collaboration with all industry players, we commit to creating the best cultural experience for participants from the African continent and beyond. Honorable Minister, with the President of the Ghana Journalists Association and leader of the Jumfo administration as co-chair for the LOC, I am confident that we shall succeed. I thank you for your attention.
Once again, we're very proud of you, our co-chairs, and we trust that just like you displayed a lot of teamwork here, would see the application of teamwork in executing what will be a great conference and the converging of great African minds, which most importantly, as told us by Honorable Minister and Guest of Honor, will go to tell a great story of Ghana, our sense of organization, what we have to offer to the rest of the continent and to the rest of the world when it comes to our tourism industry and many other aspects of our national lives. It sure will be a great time in May next year, and we all do look forward to it. At this time, as we always do with our traditional Ghanaian norms and values, whenever someone does something significant for you, it's important to say thank you. To say a symbolic thank you to all of you, I'd like to welcome up here the Vice President of the Ghana Journalists Association, Linda Santeje. Shall we welcome her with a big round of applause?
Thank you very much, Nath. Honorable Minister, Deputy Minister, on behalf of the Ghana Journalists Association, would want to express our sincerest gratitude to all of you. First of all, Cicero once said, gratitude is not only the greatest of virtues, but the parent of all the others. Would want to take this opportunity to thank the Minister of Information, Honorable Kojo Nkrumah, MP4 of Fuanse IUP in the Eastern region. Ochemai, as the added goes, Yen Shemen say, indeed, Wan Shamanan say, you've actually played a key role for us to get to this far, and would want to, deep from our hearts, express our gratitude. And would also want you to extend our deepest gratitude to the President of the land. As the father the way he has welcomed this announcement, and the kind of support, financial support, providing us with all the resources, and even granting us the audience. Would want to appreciate him for that. In fact, winning this bid, to us as GJA, it is not for us, but it's for the country. And therefore, Ghana is hosting this and not GJA, together with Ministry of Information. So please extend our gratitude to him for us and to the entire staff of the Jubilee House. Again, to our partners here present, without you, would have been speaking to empty chairs. Thank you so much for the promises, for the assurances that you have actually given us here today, that you are going to support us to make sure that we bring this conference and execute it successfully. In fact, I was so overwhelmed with the support and assurances coming from all quarters. It shows how you all cherish this important conference that we are going to host here in the next 4 months. To our fellow LOC members, William Arthur Ward once said, "Feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it out." GJ would want to thank you so much for coming out and assuring us that you will serve on the committee. In fact, looking at the expertise that you are coming on board with, we are so much convinced that in the next 4 months, come May 15th to 17th, it's going to be a successful week for us. And I'm sure it's going to be registered in the history books of Africa, like we did in 2018, that it is written actually in the history books of the world, for Ghana being one of the best countries that has hosted the Global World Press Freedom Day. Come next year, May, it is also going to be written in the history books of Africa. And I know that counting on your assurances, your expertise, will be able to execute it. To our media partners, in fact, if time were to be money, I don't know how much we'll be paying for the number of hours and minutes that we've been here. For those of you streaming live, we say thank you so much. Director General, thank you very much. Wouldn't have had the money to pay for this airtime, no. We are not going to send you any invoice. Thank you so much. And to the other media houses, Atenka, Joy, Wezo, we thank you so much for streaming this live for us. It tells us that indeed we are in this together. Thank you so much again for gracing the occasion for us. And may the good Lord see us back to our various destinations. Thank you. And to our MC, thank you so much. And your co-MC, sweet lady, we are grateful for your presence.
We're very grateful to you, Vice President of the GJA, Linda Santeje. Shall we do another big round of applause for her? At this time, once again, I would like to say a very big thank you to all the media houses that carried this live and all those who will eventually spread the good word about the 3rd edition of the African Media Convention here in Accra next year in May. We do value the effort and the support of GTV, of Joy News, of the Multimedia Group, Atinka TV, of the Atinka Media Village, of Wezo TV. We're very grateful to you. To the Ministry of Information, you're not only adding a big touch of your leadership as well, but are bringing all your platforms on board. And for that, we say we're very grateful to you. This is a clear indication that whenever we all gather as a big family to execute in May of next year, all will go well. To wrap everything up, I'd like to say it's been great sharing your company at a time which is termed a very productive block within the time in the morning. But you find this very important and you have decided to be here with us. And for that, we say we're eternally grateful to all of you. And now, respectfully, I'd ask that we all rise and share a word of prayer before we disperse. Eternal Father, we're grateful unto your holy name for bringing us together as a family. We're thankful to you for giving us grace. We're thankful to you for giving us good health. And we're thankful to you for giving us this big opportunity of landing the rights to organize the 3rd edition of the African Media Convention. Heavenly Father, it is you who gives wisdom, it is you who gives ideas, and it is you who eventually gives utmost execution. As we move away from here, and as we go with inspiration to go and perform our various duties in organizing this conference, it is our prayer that you yourself will be the guide and you will be the guide. When the energy is going low, and you'd continue to show us to the light, so that the colors of our flag, red, gold, and green with a black star in the middle, will always stand tall in the minds of all of those who will be exposed to this 3rd edition of the African Media Convention. Heavenly Father, take us away safely, and when we ever decide to converge like this and again, be at the center of everything that we do. Bless us and guide every single thing that we do as well. We have prayed in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Maximum gratitude to my colleague, Maltiti Sadiq. Thank you so much for the assistance. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, you're all reminded that tomorrow evening, we're converging at the forecourt of the GJA headquarters for the annual dinner, which will be graced by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana. We're all to be seated by 6 p.m. And so thank you all very much. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll have a coffee break. And so thank you all very much for making it here.